October 31st, 2013. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 32 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and as always, I'm here with Dr. Mike.
Hello.
Now, Mike, let me ask you something. Since our last episode,
Yes.
how many separate casinos did you go to?
Just one.
Just one.
Just one for me.
Well, see, I am doing some legwork for the show
All right.
and going out there and doing some investigative journalism. So I went to 3 different casinos.
Is that what we're going to call it? Investigative journalism?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the integrity of the show is at stake.
All right.
It was last weekend. My wife actually had some business she had to attend to.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. Because now it's like, oh, well, I went there because I had to.
Oh, like I had to. Well, let me finish the story, all right? I had to go up there. She had some business she had to take care of up in Hemet, which is in Riverside County, north of us here. It's the county north of us.
It's about an hour's drive.
Yeah, San Diego County is a big county, so it takes a while just to get out of our county. But anyway, she had to go up there, and she said, hey, why don't you, we'll take the kids, and then I'll just drop you off at the casino when we go up there. And it also happened to be my birthday. So when your wife on your birthday says,
she's going to drop you
can
off
I drop you off at a casino?
And take the kids with her.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're free of them. Wow. That's quite a birthday present.
Yeah. So she dropped me off at Pechanga. Now, Pechanga is in Temecula, California, which is just north of San Diego County. And we've never been before.
No, we've driven by it. It's weird because it's in a place where, if we're going by there, we're probably on our way to Vegas.
Exactly.
So why would we stop there?
Yeah,
right.
Right. Right.
And why would we go up there if we weren't on our way to Vegas other than, going to a casino, and there's other ones closer.
There's so many more closer to us than, exactly. So, that's why we'd never been. So, finally I said, well, I'd love to take a look at it. So I went in. I didn't realize going in that it's the biggest casino in California.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
So I was amazed, when I went in, I'm walking through the casino. Oh, this is pretty big. And then I round a corner and there's just, there's more. Right. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's funny that it's in Temecula.
Yeah, well,
the biggest casino. You'd think, it'd be in LA County or, somewhere. I mean, there's not much around there.
No, it's a tribal casino, right? And for whatever reason, they've got, it's the biggest. They have the most machines.
They must have had a lot of money when they built it. Just like, let's just make it huge.
Yeah. And I thought it was very nice. Now, I was only there for a couple hours, maybe 3 hours. Yeah. So I looked around. I didn't really eat anywhere there. And, I wandered around quite a bit, but, I thought it was very nice. The table games, were kind of typical. They didn't have anything unusual. It was, blackjack, of course. They had single deck blackjack 6 to 5,
right.
Nobody was playing, thank goodness.
Yeah,
3-card poker, let it ride, the typiple kind of table games.
Yeah. Did you see any Caribbean stud poker?
No.
Really?
I'll tell you, I can't remember the last time I saw Caribbean stud poker.
Yeah. It's funny. What did happen to that?
You know what? We've talked about this. I think the reason that it died was that the dealer had to qualify for you to get paid, even on big hands.
Right.
And I think people didn't like that. It's like, oh my gosh, I finally made a full house. The dealer didn't qualify, right? Yeah. And a lot more of these games that have come since that are poker based, you get paid when you have a good hand, even if the dealer doesn't qualify. Even if the dealer beats you. Sometimes, you get paid if your hand is good enough.
There's a side bet.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's probably the reason.
Yeah. But no, I can't remember last time I saw Caribbean stud. But, I did look, one thing that surprised me, I did not see a lot of video poker machines. I had to really look to find them. Once I did find some, it looked like the pay tables were pretty good. I only looked at jacks or better, and they had 9-6 jacks or better.
That's good.
So that's good. But I was surprised. It was mostly, slots. Yeah.
No Casino War?
I didn't see any Casino War. No,
Wow.
no.
Big wheel? And a big wheel?
Oh, you know what? Well, no, I don't think I've seen any big wheels in California.
California, I never have.
Yeah, because it's not card based.
Oh, that's true.
See?
You'd have to have a card.
You have to have cards on there.
Card-based Chuck-a-Luck.
Oh, God.
It's just some old man. He throws up a deck in the air, and then if they fall in a circle and they add up to more than 24 or something, you win the high
That's
bet
right.
or
People
something.
can't really figure out how it works. Come here. They're trying to attract players over to come play. Upstairs at Pechanga, they do have a nice bingo area.
That's good.
Yeah. And a very nice poker room, I thought. And in there, I was actually talking to you on the phone when I went through the poker room. It was packed. I think there was a tournament going on. This was a Saturday afternoon, probably 2:00 in the afternoon, something like that.
Must have been a tournament, yeah.
But, it must have been 20 some tables and they were almost all full. I did notice that they spread a game called 5-card Omaha High-Low. It's a 3-6 limit game. And I remember I was talking to Chris and Scott from the Ante Up podcast when they were going through Southern California. I met them for lunch up in Rincon, and they were telling me about it. I guess they had played some, or Chris at least had played some. Uh-huh. So it's just like Omaha High-Low, except you get 5 cards to start with. You use 2 from your hand and 3 on the board.
Right. So you're playing with a total of 9 cards, 4 community and 5 in your hand.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Omaha's a game of the nuts anyway.
Right.
But when you got 5 cards, almost
you
every
better
hand,
have the nuts.
Somebody's got the nuts. If there's a pair on the board, somebody's got a full house, right? If there are 3 hearts on the board, somebody's got a flush.
Mm.
If there's low out there, somebody's got the nut low, But I didn't play that, but it caught my eye. I saw it up on the board.
What were the limits?
3-6, just 3-6 limit for that game. Yeah, at least when I was there. Yeah. So now I want to take a look at the craps table too, because just to remind our listeners, in California, games cannot be based on dice or like on a roulette wheel. They have to ultimately be based on cards. And so different casinos down here have different ways of kind of dealing with that. Somehow they're going to use cards to determine the role of dice at a crap table, right? And here's how they do it at Pechanga. And I don't think you'd like this.
No,
but because I was telling you a little bit about it, but there are no dice involved at all.
I don't like that.
There's no concept of who the shooter is.
Yeah. See, I really don't like that.
Yeah. It's just the dealer. There are 2 sets of cards. There's like one set has red back and the other set has like blue backs, and it's just ace through 6, right? Ace 2, 3, 4, 5 red cards, ace 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blue cards. So, ace through 6 on the red cards too. I think I left out the 6th in that. Okay, but you get the idea.
That'd be great.
Yeah, just ace.
12 just never comes up. I'll have a $5 million no 12.
So anyway, here's what they do. They've got a single shuffle machine and they put, all the red cards in, all the blue cards. Oh, first they say no, they put that in, then they say no more bets.
Yeah. So you got to
make all your bets. Okay. They say no more bets, and they look around to make sure that, okay. Yeah. And then they start taking the cards out of the shuffle machine. The shuffle machine first spits out a red card. They take that out, put it face down on the table. Then the shuffle machine spits out the rest of the red cards. Mm-hmm. So they take all those out and fan them so that you can see that there are 5, additional cards.
Right.
And then they do the same with the blue card, right? A single blue card comes out of the shuffle machine. They put it face down. And then the rest of the blue cards, they fan out there to show. Mm-hmm. It's not a fast process.
No, it'd be very slow.
And then they turn over the 2 single cards, and that determines the dice roll. And that's how they do it.
Yeah. Well, for me, it'd be too slow.
Yeah.
Number one. You might as well have my 7-year-old daughter just standing behind the table yelling out a number every time, right?
Yeah.
Because
if you're just turning over cards.
Yeah. If you're just turning over cards like that, I know statistically it's going to come out the same.
Yeah.
But, it's nice to have the dice. It feels more like craps.
Right.
Seriously, you could just have my 7-year-old blinded and just say, okay, what was the roll? 5?
Yeah. And a lot of casinos do use dice down here. We've talked about it before. And the dice then determine like what cards get flipped over.
Yeah.
So,
I think the nice thing about it is it involves the players a little bit.
Yeah. Right.
Even if you're rolling the dice, you're not taking the number off the dice, you're taking them off cards, but it does, how you roll does affect.
Yeah,
what
even though
cards
it's
are
all
gonna be
random,
flipped.
sure,
It's
you
all
feel
random.
like there's
you feel like you have some control,
Yeah.
or there's some fun to it. Really,
Yeah.
there's that would be very boring to me.
Well, they do have 5 times odds.
Now, that
which
I
was
do
good.
like.
That was good.
I do like
No
that.
hot bets.
I don't like that.
Now, I know you make hot bets even though they're stupid. They're
Yeah.
terrible bets.
They're terrible, but I like to hop.
And this
them.
is a lot of casinos in California don't take hot bets. And I'm not sure why.
Yeah,
Because they take 11.
right.
They take snake eyes. Those
Right.
are essentially
they have
hot
horn
bets.
bet, right?
Yeah.
Horn bet's a hot bet.
So I don't know why. So no hot bets. Only double on the 2 and 12 in the field. And you got to pay the vig up front when you buy like the 4 and 10. So
Yeah.
the rules weren't that good except for the 5 times odds.
Probably the only thing I'd like there would be the 5 times odds, and that would just get me in trouble.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
On a bad shooter.
On a
yeah.
bad shooter.
And I told you, though, while I was there, I don't generally bet the hard ways, but there were, what did I say, like 7 hard sixes?
Yeah, you said one guy just rolled hard six
Oh,
ups
my
or hard
gosh.
six.
You would have made a ton.
Yeah.
When I got there, I immediately went to the Players Club area at Pechanga because, as we've said, anytime you're at a new casino, you want to sign up for their Players Club because they may have giveaways going out. Sometimes there's like a sign up bonus.
Oh, sometimes they just give you $10.
Yeah,
or
right,
$5.
exactly. And if you play, you're going to get rated, and who knows, they may give you things in the future. The line was ridiculous. I mean, it was for the Players Club. It was terrible.
That's weird.
So I didn't have much time. I mean, it was not moving at all. So what I did, and you can do this if you're a table game player, just go up to the table game, tell them you don't have a card, and give them your driver license, and they can make you a card right now. The downside of that, though, is you're not able to take advantage of any deals that they might have going. I did want to talk to the person at the Players Club and say, hey, do you have sign-up bonus, free play or cash back or whatever?
I wonder if they put all your information in the computer so you get literature and stuff in the mail.
I haven't got anything yet. And see, I didn't give them my email or anything, so I don't know, if I'm going to get anything from them. But because I played there maybe about an hour. But so then this last week I had a doctor's appointment that was kind of out here in the East County. And I thought, after the doctor's appointment, I'll head out to Viejas, which is another tribal casino. It's actually fairly close to where I live. Mm-hmm. But we haven't been out there for a while. So I thought, well, I'll go out there to check out their craps because they've just introduced a new craps table. And I'll just go through it real quick because I know a lot of people, aren't familiar with Viejas or never go there. But they use a system similar to some other casinos down here where there are just numbered boxes on the layout, 1 through 6. And between every shooter, they just wash cards that are ace through 6 and randomly put them in these boxes.
Not on each roll, but for each shooter.
Just before each shooter. But new shooter. Right. And so the shooter rolls the dice. And then, if the dice come up a 4 and a 5, they look at whatever cards are in spot 4 and 5. Maybe it's a 3 and a 1.
Right.
And that's your roll, right? So that's pretty common. Yeah. So that's how they do it. But they do have some nice things there. 10 times odds.
Wow.
Which is the highest that I know of in our area.
Yeah, definitely.
When you buy the 4 and 10, you do not pay up front. You only pay the vig on wins.
Nice. Harris.
Are you
listening?
Yeah, exactly. Although they did say for lay bets, they collect the vig up front.
Yeah.
Now, why that would be
makes
different?
no sense.
I don't know, but that's what they said. And then I asked them, I said, well, what if I want to buy the 5 and 9? Because if you only have to pay the vig on winning buy bets,
you should buy the 5 and 9.
You should buy the 5 and 9. It's actually better than placing them. And the dealers that were there kind of looked at me like, I guess we could get permission.
See, that's because nobody else is doing that.
Yeah. So
they're not listening to the podcast. They don't know that buying the 5 and 9 is a better bet.
Yeah. But no hot bets there either. But, barring that, and it was double 2 for 2. It's double in the field. For 12, it's triple.
Okay.
So based on that, Viejas has the best rules, at least, of any craps game that I know of, at least in our area, Southern California.
You didn't play, though.
I played a little bit.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And the dealers were...
Yeah, they were good. Yeah.
They
were very good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
So I played a little bit. Yeah. So that was my investigative reporting.
Well, it's nice that you did a little investigative reporting. I don't know that you're kind of cheating on Harrah's by going other places.
Yeah, that's it's true. Yeah, our casino host Alan tweeted, because I tweeted, I said, "Hey, I'm at Pechanga. It's huge here. I've never been before." And then he tweeted back that he couldn't believe it. I don't know if he meant that he couldn't believe I'd never been to Pechanga before, or that he couldn't believe I was cheating on Harrah's. So,
or he couldn't believe Pechanga was so huge. He hasn't been there. I don't know.
That's right. All right. So speaking of other casinos, those who've been listening to the show know that we are going to Atlantic City very soon. It's going to be, we're leaving on Friday.
8 days from today.
Yeah, that's right. A week from Friday. We're leaving on Friday, November 8th, staying the weekend in Atlantic City. That's Veterans Day weekend. So we're getting in Friday, the 8th, and we're leaving on Monday, the 11th. So we're not going to be there that long.
Yeah.
But
it's an all guy trip.
That's right. It's going to be you and me, your brother, and your dad.
Right.
Yep. And we're staying at Harrah's.
Right. And
we are going to be. I'll be tweeting like crazy as far as where we are and where we're going. So if any listeners out there are going to be in the Atlantic City area, we'd love to meet up with you. Just let us know. When we get there, we're getting in kind of late on that Friday.
We're getting in pretty late Friday.
So by the
time we get to the casino, it's Atlantic City time. It's going to be late.
Yeah. So 9:30 maybe. I mean, not super late, but not. I mean, we're probably just going to stay at Harrah's that night.
Right. Sure.
To look around there. So we'll stay at Harrah's that night, and then the next day we'll head down to the boardwalk and
check out all the other casinos. Yeah.
Neither of us has ever been. It might be our only opportunity to go. So we're going to try to hit all the casinos and really look around.
We'll probably come back and say it was a dump and we're never going back.
It's so funny.
We've done that before.
You go online and it's you get some people say it's great. Some people say, oh, it's terrible. Most people agree it's not Vegas.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, we know that it's not Vegas. But, for years, if you wanted to gamble in the United States, you had two choices, Las Vegas or Atlantic City. Right. And that's kind of changing now.
Yeah, you would have thought that Atlantic City would be more like Vegas because there were only those two choices.
Yeah.
Now I kind of understand it because there's all the Indian casinos and they're all casinos in every state almost, except for two?
Utah and
Hawaii.
Well, those are the only places where there's no legal gambling at all.
Right.
I don't know if there's a casino in every other state, but Utah and Hawaii.
But it is legal in other states.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm not expecting Vegas when we go to Atlantic City, but I hope I don't get Elko.
I've got to remember we have to tell our Elko story. We years ago went to Elko, Nevada, which is in northern Nevada, just out in the middle of nowhere.
So it's out in the middle of nowhere.
We're going to have a great time in Atlantic City. How could we not?
Well, it will be good.
I think it's going to be very good.
If anything, my dad will entertain us.
I'm very much looking forward to it. Oh, it's so funny because I told your dad last week, I said, they've got Spanish 21 in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
And he's like, they do?
Oh, he was
I said,
excited.
They have it at Harrah's. Oh, he's all excited. He loves Spanish 21.
So he doesn't have to leave Harrah's now. He's like, I don't have to go anywhere else. I'm just going to stay there and play Spanish 21. Although now he's in a 3-card poker because he
got lucky
this last weekend, Friday and Saturday. I mean, between the two, he won, probably $1,500-$1,600 playing 3-card poker. So he's back on the 3-card poker bandwagon.
So he's going to lecture us on how don't play blackjack.
Yeah.
Your money goes too quick. You've got to play 3-card poker. That's the way to go. Yeah.
Until he's down enough, and then it'll be like, blackjack's the way to go.
It'll switch back. Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited. And this is our last podcast before we go. So
we'll have one right after we get back.
Yeah, right. And we'll recap everything that happened to us. Yeah. So we got a Facebook message from listener Jason, whose nickname is Buffalo Yo.
I like that.
I like
Jason.
that a lot.
Yeah.
Buffalo Yo. So he was writing to us. He said, what?
I'm just thinking if he's at a craps table, just calling him Buffalo Yo. It'd be better than Lee Harvey.
Years ago, we were at this table in Las Vegas, and there were these guys.
3 guys.
Having a great time, just having a blast and they just kept calling each other Lee Harvey.
When one guy was shooting, they said, come on, Lee Harvey, come on, Lee Harvey. And we kept thinking, well, his name's Lee Harvey. But then the next guy shot, and it was like, come on, Lee Harvey.
That's right. You got the dice, Lee Harvey. Roll a hard 8, Lee Harvey. And so sometimes we'll call each other that at the table. Just roll the dice, Lee Harvey. But Buffalo Yo, the thing is, though, you call him Buffalo Yo, the dealer's going to think you're making a Buffalo Yo bet every time. Hey, Buffalo Yo.
Yeah,
that's a bet, sir.
Big controversy. Don't book that.
That's right. I booked it. Where's your $5? Where's your $25? So anyway, Jason said, I've been a diamond player for the past 4 years, although now that I'm married, money is starting to go elsewhere. I guess you start making more money than ever, and you have less to spend, but that is life. What do you think of that philosophical?
I think that's very true.
Yeah.
Very true. I hear your pain. It's like, yeah, you're making more money, but you have to spend it on life, and you can't go to the casino. It's really aggravating.
Well, he goes on to talk about on Facebook, there are some games that are offered by MGM, M Life, the MGM properties, and by Caesars properties. Games that you can play on Facebook that allow you to earn points that you can then use at their casinos. And they're kind of fun. Now the MGM one is called Caesars Casino. That's the one that I've seen. I haven't played that as much because I didn't think it was quite as good. But you play, and based on how much you play, you earn rewards credits that you can use at
there's
Caesars properties.
This costs you nothing?
Well, yes, you can play for free. They do have this thing where you can pay to get extra chips to play with. I don't know anybody who does that. I mean, that's crazy, right? If you're going to do that, just go to a real casino. But no, you can play just completely free without having
and you
to pay.
Still earn points for that.
And you still earn points, yeah.
So what's their gimmick? What's the?
Oh, I don't know. They're advertising like crazy, right? As you're playing, it's just things are coming up, popping up. Oh, special deal going on right now, and that.
So I guess if they can get you hooked enough, you'll end up at a real casino.
Yeah, right.
Playing, right? And then you'll be in the cashier line picking up one of those, if you have a gambling problem, pieces of paper.
That's right.
It's all the life cycle.
Yeah, that's right. It just comes around. Yeah. But I have played the MGM game. It's called My Vegas. All one word, My Vegas. And you can look these up on Facebook. Anybody who's on Facebook, you can look these up. And it's pretty fun. It's mostly slots. You can play blackjack too, but it's painfully slow, right? It's just, the slots are kind of fun though. And they have deals going on where you can win extra chips and what have you, but you're also earning these credits that you can then use in Vegas to, get like a 2-for-1 drink special all the way up to, a free room for the weekend, depending on how much you play.
Why am I hearing about this now?
Because it's a pretty big time waster. I mean, if you enjoy it,
about this.
Yeah, I like playing it every once in a while. Really, it is kind of fun. It's kind of relaxing.
Yeah, because when I look at Facebook is at night right before I go to bed.
Yeah.
And I'll see who posted what for the day. Well, now I can forget about all the stupid stuff that relatives posted, and I can go right and play some slots.
All right. After the show, I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay?
All right.
And we'll get you all set up for it. You'll be good to go. But anyway, check it out. Those are on Facebook. Again, you can just do a search on Caesars Casino or My Vegas, or Caesar's Palace. I mean, you do any kind of search there and it's probably going to come up for you. But that was good advice, Jason. Thanks for letting us know about that. I do want to talk about Harrah's Rincon just a little bit here. As everybody knows, that's the Harrah's property that we go to up close to us. And I like playing the video poker up there.
It's good.
You do too sometimes. Yeah. And our game of choice is Aces and Faces.
Right. And we've explained that before, why that is.
Right. The nice thing about it is it has a basic strategy very close to Jacks or Better, which is a fairly easy strategy to learn. But the pay table's better.
Right.
Basically you look at the Jacks or Better pay table versus the Aces and Faces pay table, and they're the same except for some 4 of a kind. You get paid more. Right. So why not play the Aces and Faces?
Right, just in case you hit 4 of a kind, which we have done.
Yeah, absolutely. And the return on that was the Aces and Faces is 99.26%, which is not bad. Anytime you're over 99%, you're doing okay. So this last weekend, I go and I put my money in and I pull up Aces and Faces. And it's one of those machines where you can pick which game, right? And I always look at the pay table to make sure that I've selected the right game. I don't want to start playing and then, oh shoot, I was playing Deuces Wild and I'm playing it wrong. So I look and it's like, oh, well, that's not the Aces and Faces pay table. Let me go back. So I go back to the home screen and select Aces and Faces again, go back. Sure enough, it's the same pay table. They have decimated the pay table for aces and faces at RingCon. Oh my gosh, I was so disappointed.
So now the Jacks Are Better didn't change? Did you check the Jacks Are Better?
Jacks Are Better didn't change. Well, no, that didn't change. I didn't look at any other games because we so consistently
really
played
play
there.
that.
I'm going to have to look at now at some of the other pay tables. But, it's terrible. They adjusted it so that 2 pair, which normally pays 2 for 1.
2 for 1.
2 for 1.
2 for 1, right.
Is for 2 pair, pays 2 for 1. Now that pays 1 for 1.
Yeah. So
it's just like
getting
hitting
2 pairs, just like getting a pair of Jacks.
Right, exactly. And then, they've moved some of the payouts for the higher hands pay a little bit more.
Yeah, but you're not going to get them.
Right.
The 2 pair comes up so often.
I know, yeah. So like I said, it used to be 99.26% return for perfect play. Now it's 95.82.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's super significant. To somebody not in the know, it would seem like, what's 4% or 3 point something percent? Well, it's huge.
I don't know why they did it. They did replace all their machines with new machines.
Yeah.
And the previous week they had the new machines, but the regular pay tables. So I don't know. They brought in the new machines and then a week or so later they changed it. So,
well, and it's almost Halloween. Tomorrow's Halloween, and Mark's not trying to scare anybody. This isn't a Halloween scare thing.
Yeah.
But it is true.
Yeah.
I'm a little scared to go out there myself, though. After last week at the craps table, which was terrible, we had probably the worst 3 hours of craps we've had in our entire life.
This is not an exaggeration. We've been playing craps for many, many years, and we were talking about it afterwards. We were talking to our wives too.
Oh, it's terrible.
This was the worst session. I mean, you're going to have bad sessions.
Oh yeah, we've had, and I expect that.
Sure, it's going to happen.
Right. But this was the absolute worst.
Yep.
In 3 hours, we only had one shooter that had a winning roll.
Right.
Now, it turned out he had a really good roll.
Pretty good, yes. Right.
So
it was good, yes.
It did take the edge off a little bit, but every other shooter was a loser.
This is literally true. Only one shooter was a winning roll. Yeah. Every other shooter while we were there was
we resorted to playing good craps, what I would call good craps, where when we teach people, we always have them take a pass line with odds, and then 2 come bets with odds, and that's it.
Right.
No prop bets, nothing. Yeah. Just do that and, hope to hit a few numbers.
Yeah.
We resorted to doing that for the last hour, and we still lost.
Yeah, it was miserable. It was miserable. All right. So on our homepage, we've got a feature from SpeakPipe where you can leave a message for us. Using the microphone on your mobile device or on your computer. And we got a message this last week from our good friend of the show, Jason. So let's take a listen to that.
All right.
So one of my favorite parts was half the fun of playing poker is watching your friends get screwed. This is Jason here. Looking forward to playing with you guys again soon.
Okay, so yeah, on our last episode when we were talking about, poker home games, we were talking about some of the fun, when you're playing with your friends is when one of your friends actually just really gets screwed. Yeah. And it's all in good fun, but that's part of playing poker with your friends,
Yeah, well, that's a guy thing.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, women probably feel sorry for the other woman, No, we relish the fact that your friend got screwed. And he relishes when you get screwed.
Oh, exactly.
Too, so,
oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, the great thing about this is Jason played last night at our home game, right? And I was to his left. And I hammered him. He was all night long. He would bet and I would raise, and he would raise and I would re-raise. And then he wouldn't believe me and he'd call me down and I'd show him the nuts, or I'd show him, top 2 pair or whatever. So do you still like it now, Jason? Don't feel sorry for him. Then he actually was the big winner last night.
There you go.
He hit 2 jackpots. In one night. For in our home game, we actually have a jackpot. We take 25 cents out of every pot and just put it aside into a jackpot. And then anybody who gets a natural 4 of a kind or better gets part of that jackpot. For 4 of a kind, they get 50% of it. For a straight flush, they get 75% of it. And for a royal flush, you get the whole thing.
Right.
And our jackpot, usually when it hits, The total jackpot is like around $30, something like that. But it has gotten as high as like 200.
Yeah. Well, it got significantly up there several times.
Yeah.
And if you're going to have a home game, a regular home game, like, weekly, like we do, or maybe even like once a month or something, and you always play at the same place.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same group of people, maybe one or two different. I suggest do a jackpot. It makes it a lot funner. Yeah.
Yeah, it is fun. And he hit a 4 of a kind last night and a straight flush. And the jackpot wasn't very big. I think between the two, he won like $24 in jackpot. But still, it's not bad.
I still hold the record for the smallest jackpot, right?
Yeah, what'd you win? Like $1.25?
No, I think it was like 75 cents or something. Yeah.
When it was so small. Yeah, it was like right after somebody had hit a royal flush. And then you hit it like right again.
It's like next hand or something, get like 75 cents.
Yeah. Well, speaking of poker home games, let's move on to the poker home games segment of our show. This is the part of the show where we talk about poker games that you're not going to find in a casino poker room, but that you might play with your buddies when you get together for a home game. Tonight, we're going to talk about 7-card stud roll your own. So it's a 7-card stud game. Mm-hmm. Just to refresh people's memories, 7-card stud normally is played where you get 2 cards down, 1 card up, betting round, another card up, betting round, card up, betting round, card up, betting round, card down, betting round. So at the end,
3 down,
3 down and 4 up, 2 to start down, 4 up, and 1 at the end. And this game does play this way. However, each player has the choice as to which card is going to be their next up card. And here's how it works. Everybody gets 3 cards down to start after the ante. Everybody gets 3 cards. People look at their 3 cards, and they decide of those 3 which ones they're going to keep down, and which one is going to be flipped up to be their up card. And then there's the betting round. And then on the next round, again, everybody is dealt a down card. So once again, they have 3 cards to choose from, and they only flip one of them up.
Right.
And maybe they keep the same 2 down.
So in essence, all the cards are dealt down initially.
Right.
And then you decide which of the 4 you're going to flip up one at a time.
Right. So typically what you're going to do is you're going to hide the fact that maybe you've got a pair.
Right.
That way you can force the pair to be a pocket pair.
Right.
Right. Or, maybe you've got you can hide your hand, right? There are ways you're going to hide your hand as well as you could. And then we also play where the last card is just down and it just stays down. Right. In other words, you don't flip up that 7th card also. Right. So, but for the 4 cards that are up, you are going to decide which one you flip. And it's kind of fun. Again, because there's a lot more deception. You can hide full houses.
And we play it with a wild card.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that. So because the strategy is a little bit different, but if you're just playing it with no wild cards, the strategy would be, hide as much of your hand as you can.
Right.
See what other people are doing. Sometimes it's harder to like hide a flush or straight, that kind of thing. Obviously.
It's always scary when a guy has for instance, like you said, 2 9s up.
Oh, if he actually flips them up?
Yeah, and he flips them up. And you're thinking in your head, okay, so he's got 3 9s. He kept 1 down.
Or he's got a pocket pair.
Or he's got, a pocket pair, or he just screwed up.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Now that's a good point, right? It's, maybe he just screwed up, wasn't familiar with the game. But
right.
if somebody actually is showing a pair, right, you've got to think, maybe he has a pair down and he had to flip that card.
Right.
But then again,
he had a pair of kings down and he had to flip the other 9.
But see, why would he do that? Why wouldn't he have the king 9 down and then a king 9 up?
Yeah, well, that's it. They screw up. We've seen it a million times,
yeah, that's
right?
True, right?
You're thinking, they've got this monster hand, right? And then they flip over and all they have is a pair of 9s. You're like, what?
Right.
You folded.
Right. Now, if you had 4 9s, well, then you have to flip up, the pair of 9s. There's not much you can do about it in that case. But anyway, you want to disguise your hand and kind of see how people are doing and how they're betting. We do play it with a wild card, and we play it where each player's lowest down card is wild for that player, and all like it.
And we should probably note that we play the ace as a high card.
Yes, in that
because
case, right.
we've had other games we've talked about where ace went both ways. And
Right.
stuff. This is ace would be high.
Right. For the purpose of the wild card down, ace is high.
2 is your
so
lowest.
the only way you'd have aces wild would be is if all 3 of your down cards were aces, right? You know,
exactly.
which we've seen happen. Unbelievably, we have seen that
we
happen
have
before.
seen that.
But so in this case, again, the lowest down card is wild for you. So if I'm playing and my down cards are 3, 7, queen, 3s are wild for me, all 3s, because 3 is my lowest down card.
Right.
Now I may have a deuce as an up card. That's the lowest card in my hand, but for the wild card, it's your lowest down card that's wild.
Right.
Now let's talk about strategy, because everybody who plays this game for the first time gets it wrong. So let's say, just in like this example, your first 3 cards are 3, 7, queen. A lot of people will think, oh, I need to keep that 3 down because, you know, low cards are wild, right? And my 3, that's the lowest one that I have, so I want to keep it down. No, it's not that low cards are wild. It's that at the end of the game, whichever of your 3 cards down is lowest is a wild card. You're going to have a wild card no matter what.
Right.
Right? Whether it's a 3 or whether it's a jack, right? It's going to, whatever's lowest is going to be your wild card. So what you want to do is flip over the lowest card that you had. You would flip over the 3 in that case, right?
Right.
Because then if you end up getting like a queen or a 7 later, now you've got, let's say you get a 7. Let's say you flipped up the 3, you have queen 7 down. Now you have a 7, right? Oh, it's a pair of 7s. 7 now can be your wild card. Now you have 2 wild cards.
Right.
Right?
If your 4th card was a 7, you'd flip up one of the 7s.
Right.
And you keep that 7 down, and you would hope that your last card doesn't go under 7.
Yeah. See, now that's the key is that, you know, at the end, you may, you know, that final card may.
That 7th card is dealt down, and it has to stay down.
It has to stay down. So we're talking about, you know, your friends getting screwed in a game.
Right.
It can definitely happen.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, let's say you did have the 7s. You know, you had a 7 down.
Right.
And you kept the queen down too, or, you know, both 7s. It doesn't matter. But let's say then at the end, you know, you got a 3 down. Oh, no, you know, 3s are wild. Oh, well, you still have a 3. You just flipped it up.
Right.
Right.
So now you have 2 wild cards again. You'd have 4 7s in that scenario.
Right. So the tendency for new players is to, keep my lowest cards in the 3 card hand. No, it's actually the opposite. Flip up your low cards, because if you get another one of those low cards, then you can keep it down.
Right. Then you're in good shape.
Right. But if you pair one of those high cards, you want a high card to be a wild card if possible. I've played this game before where jacks were wild for me. Right. Because playing that way, I had like jack at the end of the game. I had like jack, queen, you know, down.
Right.
And if I had kept low cards down, my jacks wouldn't have been wild. I would have had maybe 3 jacks total.
Right.
Where in this case, you know, I had a couple of jacks wild, and I don't know what I had, but you know, I won that way. So it's the opposite. Think about that. Maybe deal out a few hands so that you get a sense for it, because it's kind of backwards.
It's counterintuitive to what you would think, because you would think that, you know, you'd always want a lowest possible card down so you could have the highest 4 kind. Let's say, you know, you'd want 4.
Yeah.
You'd have 2 queens up and 2 3s down.
Right.
But it really works to your benefit to keep those high cards initially.
Just in case those pair, because you want more wild cards.
Right. In case those pair. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because that's the thing, to get as many wild cards as you can.
Yep. So that's it. 7 card stud, roll your own. Again, we always play it where it's a wild card. Everybody has a wild card, and it's whatever their lowest down card is as well.
Yeah, and as always, you can add twists into that too.
Oh, sure.
I mean, you know, you could make it your lowest high card.
Right.
Know, there's
play low or something like that.
Sure.
I mean,
there's a lot of twists you can add to that game, which makes that game fun.
Yeah. I like it. So if anybody out there has a poker home game that you'd like us to talk about, drop us a line. Our email is youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. And also, if you go to our webpage, on the left-hand side, you'll see a link called Poker Home Games. If you click on that, it'll take you to a page that lists all the home games we've talked about and on which episodes we talked about them.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So we now have an app for the podcast. Yeah. An app that will run on your mobile device, Android, iPad, iPhone.
I'm glad you know about all this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know apps from apes.
So these apps will run on your phone, and it's nice because it has all our episodes there. It has all the links that we put in our show notes right there in the app. You can contact us directly from the app through Twitter, Facebook, email. You can share our podcast right through the app. The app is $1.99. And so you might be thinking, oh, it's not free? Our hands are kind of tied there. We actually, the app was set up for us by Libsyn, which is our podcast host. And so we have to charge for it. So I was thinking, well, $1.99, it is a nice app, but we better give people something more if they're going to buy the app. It's a one-time purchase. It's not, you don't have to subscribe to it. It's just $1.99 one time and you get it. So we're going to put some bonus features attached to each episode that we do. Maybe down the line, we were talking about some extra audio, like, when we're in the casino, or some conversations with your dad, I think would be pretty good.
Yeah.
For now, what we're going to do is attach to every episode in our app will be TV listings for the next 2 weeks related to gambling, Las Vegas, casinos, all that kind of thing. Now, this list is not something that, I just grabbed from some other site or, just went to my DVR and did a search on Vegas or what have you. I actually subscribe to a service where I get all the TV listings as raw data. And I wrote a computer program, a Perl script for those who are familiar with that actually searches through 2 weeks worth of programming and looks for all sorts of different kinds of shows dealing with this topic of gambling and Vegas and casinos and everything. And so I compile this list and make it into kind of a nice PDF format. I showed you what I put together.
It's excellent, really.
So that's going to be a PDF file that's going to be attached to every episode that you can only get through our app. So I hope people will do that.
If you're a TV watcher.
Yeah, see it.
And you like shows about gambling, whether it be like documentaries or informative or just, something where they're at a craps table during the show.
Right.
This is for you.
Yeah. And, I'm a TV nut too. I love gambling. I love TV. It's two of my big things. So I like being able to bring them together.
You bring them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now my daughter, 10 years old, she'll be spending $2 to get this on her iPod.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get that. See, I think the way that it'll work too, you get it for the iPod, then it automatically goes to all your other iOS devices, right? You don't have to buy it more than once. So
yeah, it might
you're
be
in good
worth our
shape.
$2.
Yeah. Anyway,
be a good way to spend your allowance.
Go to the iTunes App Store. Just do a search on You Can Bet on That. It actually will bring up the app that you first download. It's called the Podcast Box. That's a free download, and then you subscribe to our service through that. And on the Android, just go to the Amazon App Store and again do a search on You Can Bet on That. And we've got instructions on our webpage too. If anybody is having trouble, on the left-hand side of our webpage, just click on the instructions for downloading the app.
I'd buy this app if you could put on there how I can win at craps at Rincon.
Okay, maybe I'll do that.
Just a whole page devoted. This is what you need to do, Mike, step by step. Just give it to me straight. I'll try and follow it.
All right. I'm going to come up with something and you can tell everybody when I post it for you. That's good.
All right.
Speaking of TV listings too, we did want to say, don't forget the final table of the 2013 World Series of Poker, November 9 is this coming week. The first broadcast is going to be Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2.
November 4th.
What did I say? The 9th?
You said 9th.
Good grief. Yeah. I'm so glad I'm not doing this by myself. You catch me so often making stupid mistakes like that.
I don't know where you got up 9. We're going to be in Atlantic City.
I know, on the 9th. I was thinking November 9, right? That's what they call the final table. Okay, Monday, November 4th, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2.
To watch the November 9.
Right. That's going to start. And then the next day, when I think they stop when they get down to 3. That's what they did last year.
Yeah, probably.
The next night, Tuesday, November 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern, ESPN.
Big time.
Regular ESPN. They're going to show it. Now, last year, there were a lot of complaints because it went into the wee hours of the morning. I think that it finally, it was only 3 of them left, and it went to like 6 a.m. Vegas time.
Right.
So like 12 hours later.
Right.
And I enjoy watching this live poker. I really do. It's certainly not for everybody. It's only for hardcore fans. But a lot of it is just them sitting there and thinking. And the commentators are, having to come up with fresh things to say. But, I don't mind because I just fall asleep to it and then wake up the next day and see who won. But I kind of enjoy it. Anyway, don't forget that the World Series of Poker final table next week. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Email us with questions and comments at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. You can visit our website, youcanbetonThat.com, where you can check out our show notes and leave comments. And also on our page, just like our good friend Jason did, you can leave us a voice message by clicking on Send Us a Voice Message. That'll open up a dialogue where you can leave a message up to 90 seconds using the microphone on your computer or mobile device. Also, follow us on Twitter, especially this coming week. We're going to be tweeting quite a bit from Atlantic City.
Yeah, so people will be waiting to see what happens to us, and it'll be the same thing. Lost again at another table. Ate another buffet. Going to heave now. Back to the tables.
So if you're interested in those scintillating tweets, then be sure to follow us on Twitter. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/youcanbetonThat. And all our tweets are also posted on that Facebook page too, in case you don't have Twitter or you're having trouble with Twitter or who knows. And also please review us on iTunes. If you go over there and give us a good review, it'll help us get new listeners. All right, Dr. Mike, anything else?
Still got $100 crap bet up for grabs.
I have a feeling, really, it's going to happen in Atlantic City.
That'd be nice, actually.
Yeah.
If not, maybe in Vegas later in the year, we go to Vegas.
Yep, that's right. All right, everybody. Well, hope to see you in Atlantic City. And again, our next episode will basically talk about everything that happened to us while we were there.
Well, that's it, Mark.
Okay.
Good night.
Great.